What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I am a full-time media seller. We are at the storage unit today. It's 90 degrees right out there, which means it's like 120 in here, so I'm gonna be sweating all nasty this video. But this is an exciting video for me to make. There's gonna be no cuts, no edits. We got two things we're gonna cover. We got some changes coming to the channel here, and then I'm going to update you with my Scoutly trigger set, kind of where I'm at right now. It is a little bit different from the one I put out at the beginning of the year because the business is always changing, right? So I kind of wanted to put my updated 2023 Scoutly trigger set out there for all of you interested in that. And we're going to talk about the channel changes, right? So get into the channel changes real quick first off. So if you don't know, I have a YouTube membership. It's $2.99 a month. We got a private Discord. We got weekly Zoom calls. And I know a lot of you see me like I'm focused on Amazon, right? Everything I'm doing, all the bulk back here, it's all getting scanned for Amazon and not so much eBay. And I kind of was thinking, like, I got a lot of people in the group that literally just focus on eBay, and there's nothing wrong with that. Works just as good, if not better, if you know what you're doing. So I think to myself, like, how can I provide value for you eBay only sellers out there, right? Or maybe somebody that does the opposite of me, 95% eBay, 5% Amazon. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, I got a full-time eBay expert sitting right here in the group. So Johnny, if you don't know, he hosts a podcast with me every single week. He's on every single one of my weekly Zoom calls on Sundays. And I said, well, let me see if I can talk him into having a eBay only, basically coaching call for the group. And a little bit of negotiating, you know, I offered him $1. He said he wanted $2. So no, he decided, yes, he's going to do the eBay coaching call every single month. So if you're not familiar who Johnny is, he has an eBay store. I'll link it down in the description so you can go check it out. He's on the cusp of 10,000 book listings. And the way he does eBay, I feel like he's 10 years ahead of the curve with how he builds his store, the coupons he offers. He is 100% eBay focused. He's not messing with any Amazon currently. So this is the guy for eBay when it comes to media. Honestly, he knows how to correctly operate on the platform. And now we all have him, well, you all have him, once a month, the second Tuesday of every month for an hour. He's going to sit down, hop on Zoom, and troubleshoot any of your eBay problems, concerns, questions, and all that fun stuff. I know a lot of you out there are excited for this because I'm an Amazon guy, right? You know, like at the end of the day, I prefer Amazon over eBay. Just a personal choice, and there's nothing wrong either ways. And in addition to that, you guys know I do premieres for all of my videos, right? So I have over 500 videos on the channel. If you do the math, the videos are about 10 minutes long. 500 times 10 is 5,000. The premieres are still going to happen. I just personally won't be able to make every single premiere moving forward. I have a lot of moving pieces in the background, especially for trying different things for the YouTube membership, trying to build that up a certain way that I want it to be built. And sitting in the premiere every single time I have one 3 times a week, that's taken about 45 minutes to an hour out of my productivity time. I've been trying to get better at scheduling things, right? I'm terrible at it. I'm the first one to admit I suck at scheduling things. So I will make the premieres when I can, but I can't guarantee you I'm going to be at every single one. And you all know I'm always in the Discord answering questions and doing that kind of fun stuff. And I respond to all the YouTube comments I've gotten over the past 3 years. So that's a channel update. Great news for eBay sellers. I hired a guy, you know, he knows a little bit about eBay. He knows a lot more than me, so I'm excited for you all to be there. The first eBay call, when you're watching this on Monday, his first monthly eBay call will be that Tuesday night, so 7:30 Eastern Tuesday after you watch this on Monday. And if you do go to it and you watch this, make sure you ask him where you can buy Gaylords of books. Don't tell him I sent you, though. All right, enough of that nonsense. Scoutly mid-year 2023, what is the used book guy using for his business trigger update? It's kind of, I mean, it's changed. It's definitely changed, right? So I'll pop it up on the screen. I need to like stand all the way over here so I can make it real big in the video. So we're gonna look at the books here first, right? I'm trying to remember correctly where I was at the beginning of the year. I know my minimum sales count was 20. If you see now, I've dropped that to 12. So it sells 12 times every 6 months, 2 times a month. A bigger change is the profit. I started at 12, I'm down to 6. All right, caveat to this before everybody goes nuts and loses their mind. My average purchase price for a book right now is right around 68 cents. I make it a point to do most of my book shopping, most of my thrifting on half off days, right? So I'm getting softbacks for 50 cents. I'm getting hardbacks for $1. And we all know a lot of the time softbacks are usually more profitable besides the really, you know, profitable hardback books. So we're down to $6 profit. Be wary of this, okay? This fits my business. If I'm paying 68 cents, I can get away with a $5 buffer zone. If you're paying $3, this doesn't work, right? Your profit needs to be closer to $9, $10, $11. And personal experience, it's getting harder and harder to find profitable books because the way the fees are structured, they're structured by size of the item. So books are always going to be, you know, a lot more heavier than you say your DVDs, right? It's just the law of averages when it comes to fees on Amazon. So that's the big change you're going to see here, right? And that's our only FBA trigger. You guys know I don't play this 1 to 10. I got my trigger set like this. 10 to 20, I got a set. No, all you need is one trigger set. Get out of here with the nonsense, right? So 12 is where I'm at. Another thing, another caveat before you go add in this trigger set and thinking you're going to be able to copy and paste my business. I liquidate all of my books. So I have automated removal set on. After 6 months, Amazon automatically liquidates everything. I get nothing back. I'm not playing that game. It's the cheapest way to dispose of inventory. So this is another thing, right? This trigger set is here as a guideline. You have to have all pieces of your Amazon business working together. You can't scan one way and have you reprice in a different way, right? It's not going to work because your scans are going to be invalid if the repricer is just going to do something completely different. So that is the book trigger set. Everything else you see here, if it doesn't have a 12 sales score, you need a merchant fulfill it. Listen, if you want to send in the slow moving stuff, knock your socks off. I'm not here telling you how to run your business. I'm just forewarning you that it might not sell. You might have to pay a decent amount of money to get it removed. If you have 100 of these, thousands of these, guess what? Your business is sunk. And if you think this hasn't happened, I'm here to tell you it has, because I've had multiple people reach out to me and say, hey, why do I owe Amazon $600 this month? Well, did you do a removal order of 200 books? There you go. And then you owe Amazon $600. So be very, very cautious of sending in the slower moving stuff now. And listen, one bookshelf in your house is not going to take up a lot of space, and you can fit all your merchant fulfilled inventory right on there. So that was really the big change for the books. Is we're down to $6 with the 68 cents average buy cost, and our minimum sales count for FBA is 12 now. So that's the big changes for that. The only changes to DVDs and music is going to be the sales count, right? So we used to be 20, which is a little bit over 3 times a month the items sold. We are down to 12 on that as well. Yet again, I liquidate all this stuff. CDs, I get CDs for like probably less than 50 cents a piece. Most of my mom and pop thrift stores have super cheap CDs. Now DVDs, I will admit, I do pay a little bit more for them, right? Because you guys know I've been killing the Goodwill, right? Goodwill, you're watching this, whew, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars off you this year, just off the DVDs alone. So at Goodwill, I'm paying $2.99 per DVD. Everywhere else is probably around $1.50. So my average buy cost probably falls right around $2, a little bit more than $2. So my target profit for that is $8, right? And 12 sales score, it's, you know, it's all right. I'm sure I'm going to lose on some, but at the end of the day, I liquidate it. Hopefully I get a little bit money back out of the liquidation, because when you liquidate an item, they charge you, and then somebody decides to buy it, and then you get a little percentage of that as well. So if you're going to play this low, slow moving game, you have to liquidate. I honestly think you got to liquidate even if you're not playing the slow moving game. You cannot afford to pay $2 per item to have it sent back to you. What are you going to do when it gets back to you, right? I mean, I'm trying to think about it. You pay $1 at the thrift store. You pay $2 to have it sent back to you after it sat there for 6 months or 12 months or whatever crazy business model you're running out there. So that's probably another, you know, $1 in fees. So you're into it for $4. There's nothing you could do with the book at that time to make your $4 back, right? Listen, I don't know. You're all crazy out there, honestly. Like I put all my stuff in unison and let it work together. So those are the changes, right? Books, we're down to $6, but we have a super low buy cost, right? That's the trade-off. If you have a more expensive buy cost, your target profit needs to go up. We're down to 12 e-score, sales score. That just makes sense, right? You know, we're willing to send in a little bit of slower moving stuff. if we actually are liquidating at the end of the line if it doesn't sell. Books, done. CDs, DVDs, all we really changed is the e-score, and we did the same for video games as well. Actually, no, I kept the video games at 20, so you'll see the video games stayed at 20. Here's why I did it. I don't have the buy box for used video games, so I have to price at the lowest FBA. So I need something that's going to sell pretty fast, because if I'm not getting a buy box, it's going to be tough for me to wind up getting the sale. So we did keep the video games at 20. If you don't have the buy box, I probably should have said this a while ago, you should automatically be at least 20 sale score across the board, because you're not going to get the sale when the time comes. So if you're chasing the buy box still, keep everything at e-score 20, sales score 20, because that's the only way you're going to get sales. You send in the slower moving stuff without the buy box, you are dead in the water. I promise you that. So no buy box, you're going to be at 20. If you have the buy box, I'm fine with you going down to 12. And whenever I do get the video game buy box, I'll drop this to 12 as well. So it's going to do it, right? If you're not on Scoutly, maybe you're still using Scout IQ and you're interested in trying it out, I got a link down below. But yeah, that's going to do it. I'm excited for the eBay calls, and I can't say I'm going to be at every single one, right? Johnny's well capable of handling himself, and honestly, right, Johnny's more like raw than me, right? He'll tell you how Johnny will tell you how it is on the spot, right? Especially with eBay, because he's been doing it so long and he's built his store a certain way. It's like, you're not going to get the fluffy niceness that I kind of put out there, right? You know, I joke around with you sometime, but if like you're doing something completely wrong and you're like, hey Johnny, what's wrong? And he's like, well, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks, that sucks. That's the reality of them, and that's kind of why I like it. That's why I think we're a good combo can. You know, we work together well, because he does all eBay, I do all Amazon. He really doesn't have like an online persona, so he kind of can just be like, yeah, you suck. And you're like, okay, dude, relax, man. I thought you were here to help. Don't tell me I suck. I'm sorry, right? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll show up to the first eBay call on Tuesday, tomorrow, when you're watching this, and be like, can you review my eBay store? And he'd be like, yeah, this eBay store is absolutely trash. Anyway, appreciate you watching as always. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more used book videos. Bye-bye.